Hello and welcome to Dr. Fitness USA, the show. Exercise is medicine, strength training is stronger medicine. With your host Batista Gramode and myself, Stephen Hersey, aka Dr. Fitness USA.
Welcome to Dr. Fitness USA, the show. I'm Batista, your host, and I'm here with my co-host, Stephen Hersey, also known as Dr. Fitness USA, the foremost expert in the world in strength training and body design. The Dr. Fitness USA show aims to inspire a society of stronger people. Today we have an amazing guest for you, Rebecca Whitman. Oh boy, are you in for a great surprise. Rebecca is the Magnetic Abundance Mentor, graduate with honors from Princeton University and author of internationally best-selling books. She was awarded Life Coach of the Year and Empowered Woman of the Year by the International Association of Top Professionals. She hosts the top 5% globally ranked, balanced, beautiful, abundant podcast, which won the Positive Change Podcast Award. Her philosophy divides life into 7 pillars of abundance, which include spiritual, physical, emotional, romantic, mental, social, and financial. All that you can imagine to have a fulfilling life. She helps people achieve balance within these 7 areas to experience more fun and freedom in life. In addition to her appearances as an expert on ABC and CBS, she has spoken on multiple podcasts at Columbia University, UCLA, and has shared virtual stages with great thought leaders like Grant Cardone, Jack Canfield, and Les Brown. Today, the topic of our conversation is the 7 pillars of abundance. Rebecca, welcome to Dr. Fitness USA, the show. It's a real honor to have you with us today.
Thank you. It's so wonderful to be here. I love talking to you guys already in the pre-show. We could have kept that conversation going, and now we get to do a podcast together. So I'm excited to be here.
Beautiful. So listen, before we get started on the whole 7 pillars of abundance and all this great stuff that you're going to share with us, we kind of want to know you a little bit, who you are, where you come from, and how did you get to where you're today?
Sure. So I moved to LA about 20 years ago to pursue my childhood dream of being an actress. And I had small parts on big shows like Friends, CSI, and 24, but I never quite made a living at acting. So I found myself working at children's acting schools, which I love because I don't have any kids, so it was fun working with them. And I had a lot of free time to study with great spiritual teachers like Michael Beckwith, Abraham Hicks, Wayne Dyer, and Marianne Williamson. And I really mastered the law of attraction in a lot of areas of my life. The one area that eluded me was my romantic life. And I had a really tough year in 2015. My dad was dying as my marriage was unraveling. And a year and a half later, in 2016, in my last conversation with my dad, he said, Rebecca, I think you should write something. I think you're living life in a really different way, and I think you can inspire people. And I had no idea what I was going to write. My dad was buried on a Wednesday. 72 hours later, my marriage was dissolved and divorced on a Friday. And a few months later, I was sitting in my financial planner's office in workout clothes. And he's like, Rebecca, you always come in here like in workout clothes in the middle of the day. And I know you lost your dad and you lost your marriage, and you always come here with such great energy. And I'm looking at your financial portfolio, and you had the best fiscal year ever. So I think you should write a book inspiring people how you're living your life and how you're so resilient. And I believe that God speaks through other people. So I said, that's exactly what I'm going to write about. So I wrote a book called How to Make a Six-Figure Income Working Part-Time. And it's not a business plan. It's how I lived my life and live my life to make 6 figures working part-time. And in that book, I divide life into 7 key areas, which I call my 7 pillars of abundance. And now I'm coaching women. I'm helping them go from burned out to balanced, beautiful, and abundant. I have a podcast called the Balanced, Beautiful, and Abundant Show, where I interview experts in each of these 7 areas. You guys are going to be on the podcast talking about fitness. And I just love my mission of taking overworked, stressed out women and transforming them from burned out to balanced, beautiful, and abundant. So that's how I got to where I am today.
Wow. So what, just women? You don't work with men at all?
I would take a man as a client, but I just feel like my ideal client is a woman, because I just feel like they have so much pressure on them to perform in a male way. I know we were talking about masculine and feminine energy before we hit record, and whether it's working out or making money, I feel like if women are grinding and pushing and in their masculine energy, they are going to burn out and they're not going to get the results that they want. So that's what I like to coach about. And men, they can get results through pushing themselves to exhaustion and grinding them out, whether it's, working out or making money. But women have to be in their feminine, and it has to feel good, and it has to be fun, or it's not going to work for them long term. So that's why I like working with women.
I love that you said that, because this is exactly the philosophy of our strength training program, and how women, when they go in the gym and they work out, they always seem to push and work out from a performance point of view, and then they burn out. So we're completely on the same plane here, the same philosophy. Stephen, you have anything you want to add to that?
No, she's right on point. I just want to hear more. You're an electrifying speaker, and what's super about it, besides all the credentials, is you have life experience, but when you talk from certainty.
Thank you.
So it emotes a feeling of wanting to be no more or to follow you, and that's admirable.
Great. So let's hear more. What are the 7 pillars of abundance?
Yeah, so I will talk about them, just a couple tips on each one. I have them in order of importance. So the first is spirituality. I really believe in having a morning practice to tap into whatever your spirituality is, and that kind of sets the tone for the day. And personally, I'm a huge believer in journaling. And I have been using this journal format for 30 years, and it absolutely sets my mind for the day. And gratitude is a huge part of having a great morning practice, and just prayer, meditation. So that's the first pillar, is spirituality. The second pillar is fitness. And I know that's what you guys are experts in. That's why I love being on your show. Fitness is so important. I believe for me, it works first thing in the morning, because I get all the dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, and it just gives me such a feeling of empowerment to take into my day. So I really love working out in the morning, and I really believe that people should schedule their life around their fitness and not their fitness around their life, and that makes sure they get it in. The third pillar is emotion, and I believe that all emotions come from 2 core emotions, fear or love. So if somebody is anxious, depressed, cynical, jaded, suicidal, murderous, any of those things, they're in fear-based or scarcity thinking, and the goal is to switch to love-based thinking, which is abundance, bliss, happiness, appreciation, unity, contentment, satisfaction. So I help people go from the fear channel to the love channel. The next one is romance. And I really believe that you attract who you are, not who you want. So if you have a negative emotion, a negative mindset, you're going to attract a negative person. So that's why it's important to get your emotions positive, so you attract a positive, loving partner. And your partner really affects all the other areas of abundance, your health, your finances, everything else. The next pillar is mental. And I believe that we're in the golden age of personal growth. There's always so much to learn. Podcasts like this wonderful podcast that we're on, YouTube videos, Audible books. There's just so many ways we can learn. We can learn a new language. I mean, this is just like the golden age of mental, growing your mind. The next one is social. I really believe that our world is lacking unity. Everybody is hiding out at home behind their cell phones and their computers, and people are just craving community and they want to be a part of something. And community is so important. Find a group that you feel like you can identify with that has your back. And then finally, financial. And everybody thinks financial is first. Everyone thinks I'm just going to work. I'm going to make a ton of money. I'm going to hire a celebrity personal trainer like Dr. Steve. He's going to get me in really great shape. I'm going to look really hot. Then I'm going to attract my soulmate. Then we're going to go on spiritual retreats. And then we're going to socialize with other couples and be happy. So people think finances first, but in my personal experience, when you are happy, healthy, and love, have great friends, are spiritually fit, you are going to attract money and opportunities with ease and grace. And that is the goal. That's how I ended up on this podcast today. I attracted you through me being in a high vibe, abundance place. And now here we are creating this wonderful conversation.
So when you work with your clients, do you also teach them in order of priority, or do you have a system that incorporates more all of them at the same time? Like how does that work out?
Yeah, I teach them in order of priority, and I have a 7-week training program that I call Elegant Warrior Training. And each week we do a deep dive into one of the pillars, and I give them tips, tools, and strategies to get that pillar to a level 10. And I like to call my fitness pillar H&M, not the discount store, but hydration, nutrition, and movement. So that's how I teach the fitness pillar. If they are hydrated, eating right, taking the right supplements, and moving their body, then they are going to be healthy in that area.
So that was actually my next question. What is the Elegant Warrior? So you kind of answered it. It's your teaching program then, basically, right?
Yeah, well, I chose Elegant Warrior because it's a nice mix of masculine and feminine energy. I don't want to teach women to be so passive that they're just sitting on the couch doing nothing. I want them to be warriors and feel like they can go after their goals and dreams and make bold and powerful decisions, but I don't want them to do it in a masculine way where they're pushing energy and chasing. I want them to do it in a feminine way where they're elegant and they are feminine and they are graceful and just doing it in a fun, easy way so they don't burn out.
That's beautiful. So you're so aligned with our principles. You teach your fitness, like the fitness part of it. Is there like a system that you're teaching them?
Well, that's, a potential collaboration, right?
That's what I was thinking.
I don't have a system of exercise.
So what's my takeaway is you have a system that definitely is an addition to what we do, because the short of it is we take women from wherever they're at in 20 minutes, we override their nervous system and elevate their strength 20 to 50%, which is thought to be impossible.
The Feminine Body Design is a proven and tested ergonomic strength training system. It provides sustainable results for women who want to achieve their true potential, regain years of their lives, and eliminate pain. Foundational principles include 20% to 50% strength increase, which strengthens the nervous system, releases stress and quiets the mind. Establishing a solid foundation for healing the body and mind. The physical body needs to be wired and grounded to heal, unlike an overloaded electrical panel with a short circuit. Sustainable wellness depends on the body's wiring and ability to fire correctly, which is the nervous system's role. The feminine body design strengthens the nervous system and teaches women to balance out the yin and yang energies while training from a female perspective. Unfortunately, the fitness industry promotes performance, based on male energy, as an avenue of success. Teaching women to do more than they can achieve comfortably, ignoring pain signals, potentially leading to injuries and hormonal imbalances. While training on the feminine body design system, success can happen despite overwhelming responsibilities and lack of time. Even when training as little as 1 or 2 times per week, because it creates a powerful brain-muscle connection. It sends blood flow and oxygen to dormant parts of the brain. It rewires the brain while opening up new creative channels. It immediately provokes a sense of calm, releases stress and quiets the mind, creating sustainable positive changes. The second principle is postural realignment. Posture is the foundation of a healthy body and mind, yet it is probably the most misunderstood aspect of a healthy and fit lifestyle. Misaligned vertebrae cause compression on the discs, accelerate the aging process, and lead to unnecessary muscle strain, disc herniation, arthritis, pinched nerves, and premature spinal deterioration. Bad posture affects the blood flow from the spinal cord to the brain. Feminine body design provides ergonomic platforms that support rebuilding the body from the inside out, correcting muscular imbalances, the primary cause of overuse injuries, and sustaining proper spinal alignment. As a result, one day, without even thinking about it, you will stand tall and empowered and have transformed not only your physique but your entire life. Here is what Dr. Aaron Orpelli says.
As a doctor, when I look at your x-rays, I determine what age you are, not biologically, but by the condition of your spine. With Dr. Fitness USA's proper training techniques, you can be 80 years old and have the spine of a 20-year-old.
The third principle is education. Education puts you in the driver's seat and in charge of your own health. Body design is a skill that needs to be learned, like any sport or trade. Guidelines for success are repetition, frequency, pattern recognition. It must be duplicatable and sustainable long-term. Mastering any skill takes time, practice, consistency, and discipline. Therefore, you need education to continue practicing on your own time, independently. Results do not happen overnight. Feminine body design ergonomic strength training system is a skill set that will transform your life physically, emotionally, and mentally. Start on your feminine body design journey now. Call today to apply for a consultation. 424-287-7181.
So you were talking about relationships, and during our pre-conversation, you mentioned something that was something that wasn't really happening with you, but now you found your soulmate. So how did you find your soulmate?
Yeah, it's a great question. And we actually met at a party thrown by the owner of our gym. It was a small fitness boutique gym in Santa Monica, and he had a backyard barbecue. And we ran into each other at this backyard barbecue, and I invited everyone at the party to my book launch, which was the following weekend. And my husband showed up with a book, and he said, I got your book. Instead of signing it here at the book launch party, would you like to sign it over dinner? And I was like, wow, this guy's pretty smooth. And he just kind of like wore me down with his charm and asking me great questions. And we ended up closing that restaurant, and we have been together ever since. And it's the first relationship that I've had that has been drama-free. It's loving, it's supportive. And kind of like what you were saying, Steve, I have had relationships where the guys are like, oh, why do you need to go to the gym? You know, you need to just stay home with me and hang out. Or why are you always like running around doing self-care? You know, you don't need any more self-care. And they were kind of like detrimental to my overall health and glow and well-being. And my husband, Ben, is the opposite. You know, we work out together. He wants me to do self-care and spend time doing things that light me up. And it's just made such a huge difference in my well-being.
The question is, why should you keep your job and get a side hustle?
Yeah.
What's that about?
So this is what sets me apart from a lot of male and even female abundance coaches. They say that you should, quit your job, max out your credit cards. You got to burn the boats to take the island type philosophy and put yourself in a do or die situation. And I feel from experience, because I've done that, that puts you in your masculine energy, and that when women are in business, they want to have an attitude of abundance, not desperation. And if a woman is coming off as needy and desperate in business because she has to make her business work because her credit cards are maxed out and she's not going to be able to pay her bills, then she is not going to attract as many clients. So I tell women, get a job, keep the job, and invest the extra time and money you have in a side hustle. So again, same philosophy as you guys have for fitness. If she's doing her passion project, if it's fun, if it lights her up, if she is coming from contribution, not desperation, she is going to be more attractive and attract more customers, abundance, money, and it's going to be fun. And then when her side hustle creates enough income where she is feeling empowered and like her bills are going to be met and that she has money to live, then she can quit her job and do her side hustle full time and maybe even start another side hustle. I believe that everyone should have at least 3 income streams or income rivers, and that should all be creating stability, fun, and variety in your life. Because to me, variety is the spice of life, and I don't want to be doing the same thing all the time. I like having different projects and different things going on at the same time.
That's great. So what do you do to stay in shape?
That is a great question. So I do a HIIT training workout 3 days a week, which is a combination of strength and cardio. And I do yoga a couple times a week. And I had taken a lot of time off tennis because I got plantar fasciitis about 6 months ago, and it took a long time to heal. And I believe that everything happens for a reason. So I tried to find the message, like, why is God slowing me down where I literally can't run around the tennis court or run around anywhere? And I feel like it was to spend time with my dog, because my dog passed away unexpectedly. So I was slowing down, spending more time at home with him, icing a lot. I was sitting on the couch icing. So I was forced to slow down. Now my foot is feeling better. So in addition to the yoga and HIIT training class, I want to start walking more. It's starting to warm up in LA after a rainy winter, and I want to incorporate walking a few times a week. And those are my workouts.
So let's see. I hear that you have a gift for our audience.
I do. I met this woman when I was 19 years old at a 12-step meeting, and her name is Janet. And she sat down next to me at a meeting and she said, "Rebecca, this is how you write what she called a God journal." And I took that format, and I have been doing that God journal almost every single day for 30 years. I start my day with this journal. If you're not a morning person, you can end your day with this journal. But what this journal does is it helps reframe your day from negative to positive, and it helps you learn from every experience that happened to you that day. And it is just such a beautiful tool. And I am so excited for your listeners to have this in their life. And anybody who is listening to this show will get this free journal. I call it an abundance journal, just by being a listener to this wonderful show.
Thank you so much. So while we've talked about a lot of amazing things, can you sum it up in 3 takeaways?
3 takeaways is: find the joy in your day. You don't have to be in the future all the time, which creates anxiety, or be in the past, which is depression. Find the joy in your day and the simple, simple things, whether that's petting your dog, drinking your coffee, watching a sunset, lifting weights, whatever it is, find the joy in the simple things in your day. The second takeaway is, if you feel like you're in a dead-end job or a dead-end relationship, get out. Okay? Find a way to get out. That is why I like the philosophy of a side hustle. And this could be a great way to exit a dead-end job and do something that lights you up and do something fun. And the third takeaway of the day is to find community, find tribe, find people that you align with, that support you on your journey. They say that if you have a goal, find somebody who has what you want. And if you do what they did, you can get what they got. So whether your goal is in fitness or spirituality or any other kind of career goal, find a coach. Could be me, it could be someone else. Find a community, find a Facebook group, find in-person seminars, webinars, trainings, meetings, whatever you can do to find community. Because if you're out there and you're feeling alone, you're never alone. If you break down the word alone, it means all one. So we're actually all one. We're all connected. We're all part of the human race. We're all here on the earth at the very same exact time for a big reason. And find your group. Community creates immunity, and find people that lift you up. So that would be my third takeaway.
Well, Rebecca covered all the points. I'm a fan. What can I tell you?
Thank you so much.
It was an amazing conversation.
Thank you. Well, maybe I'll start coaching men after this interview.
They need coaching, believe me.
Awesome.
That was a wonderful episode. Thank you so much for giving us your time today and to share your wisdom and your tools with our audience. And it's been another great episode of Dr. Fitness USA, the show. And until next time, bye-bye now.
Bye. Thank you.
Dr. Fitness USA's vision is to create a stronger, healthier society of people enjoying vibrant health, unshakable self-confidence, and a sculpted body they'll fall in love with. Our custom-tailored formulas act as the GPS to your ultimate transformation so you can reach your destination faster and safer without injury. The Feminine Body Design program teaches a woman the art of strength training from a female perspective and helps her achieve the feminine physique she always dreamed of having. The Body Design Formula program teaches men to achieve a sculpted, manly physique without injuries. Seniors can tap into the fountain of youth, get a new lease on life, rebuild their strength, and eliminate aches and pains. Those with injuries learn to rehabilitate them, recover mobility, and relieve back, neck, shoulder, and knee pain.
Now, with working with Steven, just in, 4 workouts, I think, so far, if that, I have no pain in my knees like I used to.
Suddenly a quietness in the mind, clarity.
I mean, I don't have back pain anymore. It's amazing. It's just really amazing.
I'm Bernie Dorman. I'm founder and chairman of CEO Space International, and I so endorse Dr. Fitness for leaders to have better lives. He does the inside and the outside to make sure you're the best leader you can ever be. And yesterday was already too late to say yes.
If your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, then Dr. Fitness USA can help you achieve it.